XReasy has revolutionized cardboard engineering. Now you can hold cardboard workshops a lot faster and significantly cheaper with virtual reality technology. You can even work together as a team with several wireless VR headsets, regardless of where your employees or service providers are located. Not only does this require much less space compared to conventional cardboard rooms over time, above all, it is also much more sustainable as mockup workstations can be modified again and again and reused in CAD systems. One step at a time, we start in desktop mode. Here, the intended parts are imported from the library and roughly placed. We later switch to VR mode to continue working as we would in reality. Parts, assemblies, and tools can be positioned in exactly the right place. The scaling tool can be used to change dimensions. We can also add new parts and our products to design the work systems according to our requirements and experience. First, you may load an existing model as a starting point. In my case, I want to load a workstation and want to add a screen to it. To do so, XReasy allows me to load several models at once. The workstation is already placed correctly in the VR scene. I will now use the toolbar to reposition the screen. I can also use the assembly tree to highlight all parts of the screen and group them together. Thereby, I make sure to always work with the entire assembly, not just parts of it. Now I rotate the screen. I'm only doing a rough positioning and will further adjust the placement in VR mode. Next, I want to get rid of some containers because they are behind the screen. By clicking on them or by using the assembly tree, I can delete the 3D models on the toolbar. I've noticed that there is a row of containers missing up above and will use the duplicate tool to add another row. These containers have been created in the same spot as the original. Therefore, I move them to see the copy. I now want to move all containers to the front. To do so, I select multiple 3D models at once and reposition them simultaneously. I put on my VR headset to start working as in real life. First, I want to enlarge two of the containers at the bottom because they will hold larger items. I'm moving away two containers that are in my way. In this case, I'm using the pinch tool, which lets me precisely move 3D objects along one axis at a time. Now I have enough space to enlarge the containers. I select the one I want to scale. Thereafter, I use the scale function to change its dimensions. I also want to modify the length of the tabletop. It should be wider to provide more space to work on. In XReasy, I can quickly change the size of any part or grouped assemblies. In this case, I enlarge the table to 1 meter. Then, I also need to adjust some of the supporting elements, such as this crossbar. Whenever changes have been made, they can be undone using undo. Alternatively, I can reset the original position using the reset button. Now, I quickly switch back to the desktop editor in order to add a new 3D model. The model contains a few other parts which I don't need and therefore delete. I keep the screwdriver to place it near my VR scene. Then I continue in VR again. I grab the screwdriver as I would in real life and place it into the hole in the table. Because collisions are turned on, I cannot instantly move a 3D model through another. But by pushing further into the table, XReasy allows me to place the screwdriver in the position I want it. Finally, I save my complete VR scene with all objects in place and all the changes made during the cardboard workshop. This is possible on desktop mode or in VR. If necessary, we can restart working with the saved model the next day. Furthermore, I could export the drawing in a common 3D format. The saved file or 3D export can then be sent to colleagues or business partners to construct or build the model in detail. This is engineering 4.0 at its best. Digital collaboration replaces old processes that are expensive, time-consuming, and not sustainable. Change this now and get started with virtual cardboard workshops that make your day-to-day work much easier in a lasting way.